ladies, we're back with another episode of Hit the Spotlight.
Yay! Hello! I'm so glad to be back.
We're
It
back.
doesn't seem that long since our last one.
I know, it feels like we just did it. Oh, we did.
We did.
Memories.
So, before we crack on with Hit the Spotlight, how's everybody's week been?
Well, actually, my week has been pretty good so far because I am on February vacation.
Oh, yes.
Yummy cow.
Yes, I know. I'm very excited about it, and I'm doing a whole lot of nothing, except for recording with you ladies, of course.
Just say we're not nothing. We're nothing, Kerry. We're nothing.
We're nothing. Jules.
Right. I'll see myself out, ladies. Have a great
No,
episode.
come back. I will miss you.
Yeah, don't let the door hit you in the arse on the way out.
See the difference, Jules? I said, please don't go. We'll miss you. She says, don't let the door hit you on the ass.
Ooh.
Who loves you more? Me.
I don't know. I like a little of both, guys.
Oh. Oh, yeah, Smudge. Hit me on the ass, too.
We can't all be the same.
Wait, before we go any further, hold on. It is Smudge's birthday today.
Oh my God, is it really?
Yes,
I
we
don't
are
even
recording
mention
this.
it.
We are recording this on Smudge's birthday because where Jules just said she's excited it's February vacation, you might be a little bit confused because it's not February while you're listening, but it's February vacation. It is Smudgy's birthday, and it's our next episode of Hit the Spotlight. I mean, you guys, what's going on?
Well, first off, I am 21 again. Yes, I am.
Oh,
If
congratulations.
anybody check my
Congrats.
passport, just believe me, I speak truth.
Your 40th anniversary of your 21st birthday.
Oh my God, yes it is.
I will
Very
buy you your
excited.
first legal drink today, Smudge.
Oh my God, I am. I actually am having a glass of wine. It is 5 o'clock, people. Do not judge me.
No judgment. We
Fair.
listen and we don't
Yes, I'm
judge.
celebrating my, oh God, I'm going to say it, my 52nd birthday. 50
Woo!
years I've been on the, or is it 51 years? How do you do that? Is it 51?
No, 52, because you are now entering your 53rd year coming tomorrow.
Yes.
Oh God, you've just
Yeah.
aged me.
Sorry.
Bitch.
I-
Saw's mate.
I'm
It is a little
52.
brutal.
I'm 52, and I've had a most wonderful day thanks to all my friends and family. It's been absolutely lovely. But the biggest present, obviously, is today. Didn't need to wrap it. It's just the In the Spotlight episode
Because you're with me and Jules.
That's
Oh,
right.
yeah, of course that.
Ah.
Did not say that. I meant
I knew that's what you meant, Smudgy.
Yeah.
that's what I meant. So yes, it's been an absolutely lovely day.
Yay, you deserve it.
I do.
Yes.
Do. I work ever so hard. I
Mhm.
do. Masturbating. I'm joking. Oh, I'm
There
not
it is.
joking.
There she
Really.
is. There's the Smudgy we need.
There we go.
So, well, we know how your week's been because your birthday's been amazing.
Ooh.
And how has your week been?
Oh, thank you.
Kerry?
Not that anyone's
You're very
asked, but
welcome.
my week has
Oh,
been
we were
good.
getting to you. We were.
No, my week is good too. I am buried in a fuck ton of snow here in Maine.
Is that what they called it? Is that the professional
Yeah.
meteorologist?
It's once
Oh.
it goes over 2
Fuck
feet, it's
ton.
called a fuck ton.
Yes. Right. Okay.
So much snow right now that when I was out this morning for some birthday supply shenanigans for Smudgy, I was watching these freaking, what do they call them? Like the backhoes or some
Yeah.
big equipment.
Back hose.
It's like a tractor kind of. No, stop it.
You had a wayward woman in your backyard.
That's probably where the name came from, actually.
Yes, the wayward woman in my backyard is my wife, Melissa.
Thanks,
Ooh.
Missy.
Saws. No, so they were transporting the snow to what we now need is snow farms. When you have so much snow that it gets in the way and causes dangerous driving for corners, they transport it to one location and it creates this mountain of snow that literally remains till June. So
What?
yes,
Snow.
they call it a snow
farms?
farm.
Never heard of this.
But you don't get enough snow where you are.
No, we don't. We get a couple of centimeters on average a year, and
Just like your
I
men.
did a snow angel. You saw my snow angel late last year. We had a smattering. I think a splattering
Smattering sounds good.
of snow. Smattering of snow, and I lay down in the mud with the occasional snowflake and did a snow angel. And we called it a snud angel because it was snow and mud. Snud angel.
Oh, I
Oh
love
my
that.
god.
But we get any more than about 5 centimeters in the whole of the UK, just comes to a standstill. We can't cope. We don't know what snow tires are, or chains, or snow plows.
So you can't
handle
more than 5 centimeters. That's a shame.
Ooh, rough, Smudge.
Excuse me, I can handle up to 10 inches. Thank you. I'll have you know
Ouch.
it is on my CV.
How deep are you?
How deep is your love? Is your love how deep?
Are we still talking about snowdrifts, ladies?
Oh yeah, snowdrifts, yes, and snow farms and whatnot. Anyway, all right, so let's get into like who are we welcoming this time into QuinnCast? Hit the spotlight.
I don't know. I don't know who we're inviting in. I'm not excited in any way, shape, or form.
Do you need Jules to tell us because you're too nervous?
I literally can't speak. My mouth has gone so dry. My tongue has attached itself to the roof of my mouth.
All right, so in these episodes, we're interviewing Quinn creators, experts on various topics like women's sexuality and empowerment, mind expansion, and so much more. So, who is joining us today? He's already at the door. Already at the door.
Right.
Gotta let him in.
Go. Open the door.
Hello, hello, hello.
It's Orcus Auditory.
Welcome. Welcome to QuinnCast.
Hi, Orcus.
Hello, everybody. Thank you for having me.
All right, so Smudge, how are we going to introduce Orcus?
Well, because Orcus was naughty and didn't follow instructions and only sent his bio through in the very last few moments before the recording started, we had to write our own bio. However, we believe that we've read Orcus's bio that he wrote, and it is pretty good. So we're going to have a little bit of a bio off, a little bit of a competition. And I've wrote one for Orcus, and Jules is going to read out the one that Orcus wrote, and we're going to have a little bit of a vote. Well, it's only going to be Kaza, and she's going to say which one is the better one. Just saying, it's my birthday.
I pick Orcus.
So it's actually going to be the other way around, ladies, because I do not have Orcus's bio in front of me. It is not on my screen, unfortunately.
Oh, great. I get to do it.
Yeah, so I get to vote. I'm very excited about it.
Sorry, Orcus. Orcus, you would have won if it was me. Let me just say that. Okay. So, Orcus Auditory is a voice actor, audio creator, and storyteller. He writes and produces audio experiences to undress, spread open, and delight listeners, introducing them to new and unexplored depths of intimacy. He also creates audios to alchemize and reinforce self-love beyond the erotic. Please welcome Orcus Auditory.
Well, a round of applause. Round of applause. I mean, that was quite good. It was quite good.
I mean, that's good. I will not be hearing anything else at this point.
Are we ready, ladies?
All right, go ahead.
Bio writing is a science.
Yes,
Is it?
it's a talent.
God, I was rubbish at science at school, so this is going to be fairly crap. Right, here we go. Today, we welcome to the QuinnCast studio the man, the myth, and the legend of growls. From the depths of Hades' dungeons to the fields of meditative pleasures, a Quinn audio curator who can move you to the heights of ecstasy from the depths of his voice. He is the voice of Daddy's Revenge and the only man who can call us pet and make us purr. Please give a huge QuinnCast welcome to Orcus Auditory. Woo! What do you think, Orcus? Jules?
I don't know. I might have to vote for your bio.
Don't let it, the fact that it's my birthday.
Do I get a vote in this?
I guess you're the guest, I suppose.
I guess.
I will, Orcus, you will also get a say, but yours was so amazing. Loved the words you used, but I don't know. Smudge, I was just able to really visualize what you were trying to tell us about Orcus. So my vote, and not just because it's her birthday, is our dear Smudge.
Boo. No, I vote for Orcus. Not that do I get a vote? No, and then Orcus gets a vote. I vote for Orcus.
Yeah, Orcus can be
not
the
because I'm
tiebreaker.
sucking up, but
Wonderful.
the whole undress, spread open, and delight listeners. Love that. And you guys know me with my spiritual stuff. Alchemize and reinforce self-love beyond the erotic. I mean, dead. Swoon. Love it. Okay. Smudge. Orcus, you want to vote?
Yes, Orcus, you are the tiebreaker.
Oh, I mean, I will go with Smudge. I think her bio.
I feel it's a sympathy vote. I feel
It
it's
is.
a sympathy
It is.
vote.
Take the sympathy vote.
Yeah.
Take it.
All right. So Orcus, I'm curious to know, like, this is kind of off the cuff, ladies, so sorry, but it is February, even though this isn't airing in February. So how did you show yourself some love on Valentine's Day?
Oh, well, let's see. I will just be honest and say I spent the day with my kids. So
I love that.
So it ended up being, it was more about family love for me than really like diving into self-love. But yeah, I mean, that to me, the whole idea of Valentine's Day is about bringing love forward, and in self-love and family love and whatever the shape that form takes. And I know we often love to like dive into the passionate romantic love that Valentine's Day often has, but yeah, no, for me it's really a celebration of all of it, whatever it is.
I love that. And yeah, I totally consider like spending time with your kids self-love. Like I didn't mean like self-love. But like how did you show your self-love? Spending time with your kids is such a beautiful example. Yeah.
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 And I love that. Yeah. I love that, especially because everyone just always assumes that Valentine's Day has to be 100% about romantic love and
Isn't that annoying? Isn't
it drives me
annoying?
crazy. And Kaza just rolled her eyes, so I know
It's a
she
manufactured
agrees.
holiday, you know, it's like
Yeah. And,
love each other all year.
and so people love each other all year. And you know what? If you want to show an extra little bit of love to your family and to friends, I love to give my friends little Valentines still, even though I'm not a child giving it to 25, other people in my class, but it can be for everybody. That's what I love about it.
I am wearing my Valentine's socks that you got me, Jules.
I love it. See, I showed you some
I know
Valentine's
she did.
love too.
I'm being serious. They're adorable. I would show you, but I'm not going to.
Thank you.
Smudge, shall you tell Orcus about the fun little game we're going to play?
Oh, I do love games.
Good.
It's not taxing, so it's something that you're good at, hearing and speaking. So it covers those two. Are they senses? Hearing and
Yes.
speaking? Yes, they are. See, it's never even went to school, isn't it? Like I was never even educated. Yes. So we are going to play a game called Whose Growl Is It Anyway?
Whose growl is it anyway?
Oh,
Okay.
yes.
All right.
Growl is it anyway? So, Orcus, we are going to play you 6 audios of growls, and you have to identify which ones are yours by saying, oh,
Or no.
Oh or no. Okay.
They're very brief little clips, a few seconds, to see if you can recognize your own signature growls. No pressure. Ready? That's all you get. Oh or no.
Oh, that's a no.
All right.
And that's kind of clipped off at the end. What did he interrupt himself?
Oh, that was Smudge. She's trying to make it tricky for you.
Oh. I
Yes.
see.
just
Got it.
make it a little tougher because no growl is the same.
You got that one right.
Mhm.
Ding, ding, ding.
I had to listen to hours of growls, by the way, listeners, and that's some tough work. I did it for you. I did it for science.
Oh.
Oh, you're such a saint. Thank you for sacrificing your time.
Okay.
Right,
Growl
growl
number
number
2.
2.
That is a top tier growl, and no, that's not mine.
So that's another no. So we have 2 no's, ladies. He's getting it right.
I had to listen to that one a few times just to make sure I got the right edit.
Next one. Here we go.
I do love the gravelly sort of like motor aspect of that, but no, that's not mine.
Cannot fool this man.
You're so good.
Next one.
I'm going to fool him.
Oh or no?
That's a no. I mean,
That was
No.
Jules.
That was me.
I thought I was gonna say.
It was our first growl ever. We're like, oh, yeah, he's going to fall for that.
I tried, everyone.
You did great. You did real great.
Thank you. I'll give a little
Do you
bow.
think you could use her for the next audio, Orcus? Could you use her? Could you use that
I
growl?
think we have a blossoming voice creator in the making here.
You all heard it here.
Absolutely.
Woo!
Yeah.
All right.
Here
2
first.
more. They may both be yours, or neither of them may be yours. Here we go.
Oh yeah, that's a no.
That is an O. You got it.
Ding ding.
Okay, final one. He's getting them all, man. That sounds like 100 growls.
That was 2 growls over each other.
Yeah.
Kind of hard to
It's a
tell.
curveball.
Interesting. I mean, the only place I could think of where I might have done that in an audio was the surprise visitor audio.
Or one's in the depths of hell. I mean,
maybe. I'm actually kind of a question mark on this one. So,
all right, you got to pick O or no.
I'm gonna say no.
You got it right. You got it right. That was Chris Yamas.
The
growling.
one and only
right.
Chris Yamas.
Yes.
One and only. So we had Joey the Vox, that gray gentleman, Nick Grizz, Jules,
obviously.
and Orcus.
Yeah.
All right, well done.
Different
Right,
creators have a different specialty of where in the face and throat the growl is located.
Ooh.
I found it very.
There's a science.
There is a
behind it.
science
Really?
behind this. You know,
Say more.
Nick Grizz is more of like he likes more of a nasal growl, and I'm more of a throat growl. I mean, and then there's a spectrum.
What else did you hear in those growls? Like, was it mostly nasal or throat, or did you hear others?
I think it was a healthy mixture of both. Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
Wow.
Yeah.
How about it?
I did not. I will be listening to the Quinn Audio's growls a little bit more.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Dude, knowledge is power. Wow.
With that, I'm curious. Can I kick off with my curiosities, ladies?
Please.
What
Yes.
what drew you to audio erotica as a medium for expressing?
Drew me to it. Well, I did a bunch of voice acting in my early 20s. I had these aspirations to become an actor, and I got myself an agent. I was auditioning for a bunch of stuff. I did commercials, and then I moved to LA for reasons unrelated to wanting to act, but it just so happened that I went to LA and started trying to do auditions, and I had this experience of doing, I was billing myself as a guy who was good at accents. And here I am in a studio. I've been booked to do a British accent for some kind of commercial where, I have to read probably like 3 paragraphs of text. And I'm there. There are like 7 people on the line, and I cannot keep the accent to save my life. Like I keep kicking over into Australian or something else.
Easy to do.
And they're just, and after like 30 minutes of just being like, no, man, that's not right. Like, let's try this again. And that just crushed my soul in a way where like, I was like, I can't do voiceover anymore. This is not going to work. So I put it away. And I was probably like, I don't know, 25, 26 at the time.
Wow.
And then cue the pandemic. And my I've been working in technology for pretty much since that moment, in the studio for like 10, 12 years. And I was browsing around on Reddit, and I found Gone Wild Audio, the subreddit. And I was like, I heard a bunch of women doing it, and I was like, are there any guys that do this sort of thing? And so I found, the top voted male audios, started listening to them. I'm like, oh man, these guys, I could do this.
I love it.
I could do this so
As
easily.
long as it's not a British accent. You can
Yeah.
do it.
Golden.
Right. So then I just, I put out a couple of audios. This would have been like December of 2020, and they were received really well. I started, even like, people were commenting and messaging me. Like, I had no idea what I was doing. Like, I just put a bunch of stuff together and threw it at the wall. And then my first kid was born. So I took a break for about 6 months, and then I was just like, still a pandemic, and I didn't want to go back to technology. So I was just like, okay, I'm all in on this audio stuff. Let's just see where this goes. I threw myself off the cliff.
Yeah, sounds it.
Yeah, like I deleted my LinkedIn page just
Oh,
because I just
Oh
was like,
God.
I'm not going back.
wow.
This has to work no matter what. So a lot of the audio creators at the time were not showing their face.
Mm.
And I was like, okay, I have an advantage there. I'm just gonna get on TikTok and start showing my face and making things. And the first relatively popular TikTok that I did was a growling TikTok
Oh, okay.
where people were talking about, like, what when they talk about growling in the romance book, what do they mean? And then I just did something, and then that was like, it kind of went viral just a little bit, and I was like, oh man, this could work. I'm gonna do that some more.
Something here.
So really, the whole story of this is like one dorky guy's journey into the sexy.
Yeah.
I like that.
How do we turn this total dork of a dude into this dark lord of the underworld?
Oh my gosh.
That's
Is that how you would have described yourself, a dork,
kind of, yeah,
back then?
yeah,
Yeah.
Like a tech
Yeah.
version kind of dork, like
yeah.
you know what I mean?
Like a neurodivergent kind of dork who, like,
Yep.
I had my shadow side that I loved to
Mm.
explore, but I didn't share it with anybody. It was sort of, kind of that thing that existed just between me and my computer or my phone, like late at night.
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
and yeah, I felt a massive amount of shame around it. And then suddenly, like, one day the dam kind of broke. I went to a retreat for the weekend where I had kind of a breakthrough of self-love and realizing, no, this is part of me. I can't just deny this part of me. So I want to explore this and see what a healthy relationship with this stuff could be.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that's
So,
yeah.
so you sort of created yourself and found this voice within you. So
Yeah.
how did then Orcus come about? So were you Orcus right from the very beginning, or did that come about later on?
Oddly enough, I originally I was playing around with different names. I was trying to play with a riff on the name Saturn at one point, and that just didn't land well. And then I was like, well, I want to do something around Hades, because I loved Greek mythology growing up, but Hades as a name it's kind of, I don't know, it just didn't quite work as well. So I was like, okay, what are alternative names for Hades? And so I found one of the Roman names for Hades, which is Orcus. And I was like, oh, that's perfect.
Wow.
Okay. I'll just go with that.
That's a good name.
Yeah.
So
It
it was interesting when you said, Orcus, how you kind of like, you thought you can't hide your shadow side anymore, because it is like, you dim your shadow, you dim your light, right? So, but like, it's quite a leap to go from, like you said, one day the dam just broke, to go from being ashamed of that side of you to like really diving in full force. Like, I know you said that weekend retreat helped, but how was that transition?
Yeah, well, I mean, to say the dam broke all at once, it's like 10 years or
Okay.
10 plus years of just kind of like the pressure building.
Yeah.
I'd been married previously, and I was also, I'd been in a couple of long relationships where sex was just not prioritized. Like intimacy was just like, the love language was not touch, and I was kind of starved in that category, and I kept finding myself in relationship with people who just weren't that interested after a little while, and I was like, man, I just, yeah, I want to develop a better relationship with myself around this, because I was looking at myself through their eyes like I was some, kind of sex addicted crazy person, and and I had to get into a better relationship with that in order to be able to move through it, really.
So it's almost like those relationships where the other partner wasn't really interested in sex was almost like a necessary part of your story to help you embrace the shame, instead of like they needed to be that way almost to make your shame so loud that it was like, I have to have a voice now.
Yeah. Yeah, it was, I mean, it was a huge example of just how far I was willing to go to ignore myself, to self-sacrifice. And during, oddly enough, during that time, I did no creative work, like none.
Oh,
I didn't write. I didn't really touch that part of my soul at all because I was ashamed of it. Um, and I remember grieving. I got one of my first tech jobs. I used to work in the game industry for a long time, and I was sitting on the front steps of this game company, and I'd just spent like 2 straight days just staring at a screen playing this game over and over and over again. And I just sat on the front steps and cried because I was like, there's no creativity to this. Like I'm just a machine and like a cog in the machine.
Wow.
So yeah, it took me a long time to dig out of that.
Did you know exactly what it was you wanted to do in the audio erotica work? Was it something that just organically came through years, or?
It kind of, well, so the progression also was, my marriage ended, and then my job went under, the company I was working for went under, and my dad passed away all in the span of a few months in 2017.
Heavy.
And I went to it was that moment that I was like, okay, I really need to start exploring what bringing the shadow sides of myself out, because I don't want to live suppressed anymore. So I really started exploring the BDSM scene, like different types of kinks and explorations. I got involved in rope play, bondage. I got involved in dom sub stuff, electricity, impact. Like I kind of, I survey coursed all through all of it. Took a couple of classes, and I got to a point where, I'm autistic. I am a little bit awkward with people at one, for me, there are just certain things that I struggle with socially. And I kept running into my social challenges with regards to trying to explore different things that I wanted to explore with people in real life. And so when I found the audio work and started hearing what people were doing in this space, I was like, oh my God, here's the open canvas. I can do literally whatever I want to do in this virtual way and play with it and see how people, respond to it. And the sky's the limit on my creativity. It was just, it was like, that was exactly, I knew that was what I wanted right there.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
Sounds like perfect timing as well.
Perfect. Wow.
Yeah.
It must have been such a relief. Like, it must have been so refreshing, first of all, to even learn that there were other people out there interested in similar things, given the relationships you were in that were pretty not into that. So refreshing. And then to know that you can do that kind of work, and then to find a space where you can feel comfortable doing that kind of work. It's like the universe just lined it up for you after, through work that you did, right? It's not a solo job.
Yeah.
So you you felt like you were falling off that cliff, but you caught yourself because you fell off of it. I mean, in a big way. I mean, you really committed to it. I mean, deleting your LinkedIn and just saying, like, I don't want to do, things that are rote for the rest of my life.
Yeah. Fuck it, I'm doing it. Yeah.
So when you were exploring all of these different worlds of pleasure and kink, so when you started to do your first real audios as Orcus, did you focus on the things that you hadn't done before and really wanted to explore, or did you focus on those tropes and scenarios that you were already comfortable with?
Yeah, well, the first couple of audios I did were more in response to, I think Gone Wild Audio put out a prompt for a hypnosis audios. And I was like, okay, I'll make one. I have no idea how to do hypnosis, but I'm just going to, try.
Go for it.
And then I did another one that was sort of like just me trying to flex my creative capacity around how to, like, what kinds of things can I do in an audio and just like mess around. and then once I launched the TikTok and deleted the LinkedIn profile and just like went after it, that's when I was like, okay, I'm going to go to the darkest depths of what I have in here and root around and see what comes out. So there were at least a couple of CNC style stuff that came out, and there were I was playing with different kinds of fantasies that I had. I started surveying my friends for fantasies. That's where probably my most popular audio came from. My roommate's dad audio was from a friend of mine's fantasy.
Oh, wow.
That's amazing.
Just in case our listeners are not aware, what is CNC?
It stands for consensual non-consent. So it's essentially a container that's created as a safe way of exploring more like removing control from somebody to explore certain intimate themes. And yeah, I mean, it can be controversial, and it can also be tough when it's not handled in a really clear and clean sort of way. And there are a lot of online, like Quinn doesn't tend to go with CNC style stuff because it can be trigger
Tricky
warning
territory.
type stuff.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Yep.
So when you're writing your audios, how much of it comes from that shadow side? How much of it comes from being a non-scripted, natural you, or versus a script that you've purchased or written yourself?
Yeah. Well, I've written probably like 99% of my scripts myself.
Wow.
I started by writing scripts out, and I started feeling like, it really feels like I'm kind of reading from a script when I do this audio. And then I got to the point where I was just like, here's a few lines that will help get me into the headspace of where I need to be, and then I'm just going to riff the rest of it.
Okay.
And then after a certain point, it's just like, okay, now like I got a general idea of where I want to go, and I'll just sit down and start talking. see where it wants to play out in my head.
With your neurodivergence and your autism, how does that work? What are the blockers? What are the difficulties with that?
I think for me, the hyper focus part is actually really useful. I
was gonna say, what are the perks of it?
Yeah.
But probably the biggest challenge for me around it is being able to, like, I've always felt a little bit, for me, there's a certain creativity of how do you mix words together to create an effect? Like how are you connecting to the energy of the listener and guiding them? And for me, it's the autism has kind of pushed me into a realm of like, well, I like to seek extremes in those ways. And it's more difficult for me to really touch into the subtle sometimes.
When you say about pushing the extremes, are you pushing your own extremes there, or the extremes of the listener? Are you trying to push the listener past their limits and their safe zones, or are you pushing yourself?
No, it's like pushing my own limits. It's like doing something extreme, like or maybe doing something like shocking them to change, to like change the energy of what's happening, or maybe throw in a like I'll throw in a growl to kind of reset my head.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Right. Yeah. Okay. It's like a pause. You growl as you pause. Your quiet time. Okay.
I was going to ask about that. Like, what's the importance of kind of breath work or pauses or silence in scripts and in audios?
I love this kind of stuff. When I'm sitting down in the chair and I'm just going with the audio, with the microphone, it's like the whole world falls away. And then I have this, in my mind, I call it the divine goddess. It's like I have the divine goddess here in front of me, and I can see the look on her face. I can see how she's positioning her body. I can see, I can hear the sound she's making. and it's like I'm talking to her, and I'm sort of walking her through, okay, place your body here. I want you to think this way. I want you to move energy this way. I want, like, I'm expressing my own desires in all of these different ways. And it's a dance. I don't even know if I just answered your question or if I have.
Yeah. No, so it sounds like when you're picturing this divine goddess, I imagine you kind of take cues from that visualization about any pauses or when to use silence. Like, kind of, if you're having this conversation with her, I imagine some of that is in response to what you're kind of sensing and experiencing with that visualization.
Right. Yeah. I think the breath and pauses are just as important as the words.
And kind of along with the breaths and pauses, and other than growling, do you have any other like certain words or phrases that you tend to find particularly effective, like in, heightening arousal while you're recording your audios?
It's interesting to ask that, because I think for me, it's less about the phrasing, it's more about the energy. So it's like, I could say something on the order of, oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light?
Yeah, I want to be an American.
Like, but like, or I could just sing it like the song is supposed to be, right? So,
free.
as far as phrases, it's just kind of what comes out. I mean, I've heard people say, oh, you say this thing a lot, like, just like that, but
I missed that. Sorry, what was that?
Could you say it 10 more times to make sure we heard it?
I think due to some investigation that we had to do as part of this podcast interview, we there's a lot of no's and
love those.
Yeah,
that came up in the top 2 of things that are in your audience.
Well, over the years, what I've learned is that one of the powerful services that I offer is to help people turn their brains off. And so, asking or inviting them to quiet the mind, to turn off those conscious thoughts, to just drop into the body and just let the feelings come through. I mean, that's what I'm here to do, to offer, as part of it.
Go with the flow.
It works.
You are really good at doing that. I was actually listening, I think it was your latest drop, Pleasure Manifestation. And now that we've been talking about the pause when you growl and the different kind of techniques and everything, it's true. It's like that energy. When I was listening to it, I kept just kind of being like, I don't know if I want to be in a yoga class right now, like relaxed, or if I want everyone to leave the yoga class so I can have a little alone time. It was like this flow of energy throughout the whole thing. I was like, this is awesome. And it really did kind of do what you said, like.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I that audio has been, I like that audio because it's been sort of a culmination of a lot of exploration with the idea of manifestation that I've been playing with. It's like this elevation of energy and like invoking this like experience of, I want to create, I am creating, I am this thing that I am creating in my life. And some of the guidance I've gotten is, you can invoke that through sexual energy. You can invoke that through laughter. You can invoke that through, having a fever. But sexual energy is incredibly useful for creating what we want in our lives. And I just wanted to do an audio about that.
I love that.
And do what you did.
Yes, you did it well.
It's a really good way into what we wanted to sort of delve into a little bit next, Orcus, which is your Auditurgy journey.
Oh, sure.
So, and where that, I mean, talking to you now, we can see and hear that you were clearly spiritual were you quite spiritual from an early age?
No, really not.
Okay.
I mean, my parents took me to a little community Presbyterian church from a young age, but by the time I was developing any sort of consciousness of what was going on, we ended up moving. And then from the time I was about 6 to about 12, we probably went to like 50 different churches over the years. And I started getting this sense of like, wait a second, like all these people have different things to say about the same material, and it, like none of it is really the answer that I was looking for. Like I ended up reading the Bible myself, and kind of developed kind of a, well, you know, there's probably something going on out there, but I have no idea what it is. And so I'm just going to follow this rational atheist sort of path. And, you know, got really into science and technology and chased that. And then my dad passed away. And I started pursuing, I don't know if we can talk about this, but I started pursuing plant medicine.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, cool. Great.
Yeah, bring it on.
So, yeah, I went into, I had my first ayahuasca experience, short about a month and about 6 weeks after my dad passed away for the first time. And since then I've participated in retreats on a fairly regular basis, just as a way of kind of getting connected to what's really going on in here, you know, in my body.
Yeah.
So self-work.
Yeah.
Just for the, yeah. Did you go into it because of the grief, or did you?
Yeah.
Because grief is massive.
Like I felt like I was floating above my body the entire, like after my dad passed, it was just like I'm out here somewhere. I'm not even in body. And that one weekend was probably like 10 years of therapy all in one. It was amazing. Because, you know, I had this experience of feeling it was like I could feel the heartbeat of the entire planet underneath me, and how I could see all of a sudden the connection of every living being, every person, you know, all coming together in this symphony of experience. And then I had, and then the final night that I did it, you know, I had this experience of being fully connected to my own power in a way where I felt like like I could run 2 marathons. I felt so charged up with my own like who I could be in the world. And that started me on this journey. It was life-changing. And
so that started you on this sort of Auditurgy thought process.
Yeah.
Did it affect the audios that were you doing at that time? Was there, would we notice a switch or a turn or a change of pace? Or
yeah, there's sort of this, you know, I think what participating in plant medicine and connecting to my spirituality did, it unlocked my second chakra and first chakra in a way where it's like Orcus Auditory came out, and he was like, okay, I'm here. I want to express myself and share my shadow in a way where I can heal from it and connect with myself. But the journey kept going. And I ended up going deeper into the work, and connecting with my spirituality and the energy of unlocking and opening my sort of inner channel of, you know, third chakra, fourth, like the heart, and all the way up and down the channel, like opening all of that up has now translated into the work with Auditurgy. And Auditurgy is sort of a riff on metallurgy or thaumaturgy. It's like it basically means the art and craft of auditory experience. And really that whole idea is born out of wanting to, like, now that in many ways I feel like I've shared so much of what my personal struggles were through sexuality and expression, you know, through the Orcus Auditory work. And now Auditurgy is a way of saying, okay, I want to step back from being the object of intimacy in this space. And I want to be more of a facilitator of people connecting to their own self-love, their own intimacy, unlocking their own pleasure. Because really, this is kind of my take, is that everything that's happening in an audio experience is really the listener. It's really about the listener. And it just so happens that me as a creator, or, Nadia or one of the other creators like us, we have the particular kind of energetic profile that helps you to connect to something that perhaps you would feel challenged connecting to on your own. Right. But I believe that it's possible for people to learn how to connect to that kind of stuff on their own without needing any kind of external input. It's just a matter of learning how to connect deeply into the self and sort of pulling out those things that are blocking us from that channel. And that's what Auditurgy is about. I'm working on figuring out how do I help support people through, like, it could even be the most mundane kinds of things, but things that really trip people up, like being ghosted. Or I had somebody ask me for an audio that would help them with protecting themselves from peer pressure to drink during the holidays.
Wow.
Or like, even like things like sleep, or the thing that I've been most passionate about is unlocking pleasure. It's like I truly believe that in the natural state, everybody is multi-orgasmic, and there are just all kinds of ways that we've been conditioned through our culture to not connect to that, to suppress that energy, to block it from because we feel ashamed, or it's not appropriate, or whatever it is, right? It's like a lifetime of conditioning, and I think that there are very real ways that we can reconnect with that orgasmic, blissful experience of pleasure. And it just, it takes a little bit of digging to find it.
Yeah. There's so much to unpack in what you just said. Like, my mind, no, but it's so good. Like, my mind is blown.
Yeah.
Right. It's like this whole idea of helping people tap into their own inner power, inner strength, inner sexual energy, that kind of thing. For Quinn audios or audio erotica audios, and I can speak for myself, and we've had conversations about this. The way you're describing it, I'm now seeing those as almost like an on-ramp, right? Like they're the on-ramp that's bringing me from the old shame place to, oh, wow, I like different things that I didn't realize I liked, and kind of opening up my world to other possibilities. And then, so your next level of work is like, get me on the highway and get me driving the car,
Yes.
Where I'm a passenger on the on-ramp for now, but then that whole idea of that power that you felt when you were talking about the ayahuasca weekend, that surge of power, I think I feel that when I can get myself to come to the present moment, which is very difficult for, I think, most people.
Yeah.
But in that time when I do, I feel like that's what you're talking about, that I'm like, everything is peaceful. I feel strong. I feel clear. I feel like everything I want in life is out there before me. I just need to reach it, like truly, like through my own growth, so much in that what you just said. I'm in love.
Orcus, you talked about shame and guilt and repression. So is this something that is just a mental blocker? And we're talking about a mental blocker, like a woman that can't have an orgasm with another person in the room, but is quite easily have an orgasm without somebody in the room. Are we talking something that just clears? How did it work for you, if that's not too much of a simpler question?
Well, this, I think that question is sort of the crux of the entire idea of, like, how do we get back to self-love in a holistic, integrated sort of way? And there are so many different tools out there for doing that. I mean, therapy is the most common form, but there are ways of moving the body. It's really like, how do people connect to their inner passion and pleasure? Some people do it through dance. Some people do it through art. I think that there is something to be said for both the expression of passion and also the protection of it, because I mean, just to get into a little bit of chakra ideas, there's the first chakra, which is all about the root and safety and foundation. It's the thing that holds the foundation of the energy. Things that occur with the first chakra is like all of our survival needs, our home. And then the second chakra is where, that's where a lot of our passions and pleasures and sort of flowing and creativity and sexuality, and it's like water. It kind of flows and moves in the ways where that just inspire us spontaneously in the middle of an afternoon, right? But like that is supported by the root, by the foundation underneath it. Those two things together, it's really easy for us to be able to, in the privacy of our own home, where we feel safe, we're in our bedroom and there's nobody else around. Okay, we have that safety foundation built, and now we have the ability to just expand and experience pleasure in however we want. But one of the next steps of building the skill set is to anchor in that sense of self and then protect it, using the third chakra, the power chakra, the will of protecting that energy out in the world. And part of that is about, having discernment over who do we invite into our inner sanctum, our inner place of safety. What kind of boundaries are we setting with people around us? How are we expressing our love and connecting to what's in our heart and our passions? Like, do we really feel confident in ourselves? I heard a teacher once tell me that there's no such thing as not having confidence. There's only having confidence and having no confidence.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, it's like, this isn't something that people just solve overnight. It's a practice. It's one of the passions that I am working with the Auditurgy stuff. It's like, I want to help to create audios that help support people in really learning how to protect themselves and ground, and then say, advocate for their needs and say, this is what I want, and this is how I can feel free to express my passions, especially with other people.
Yeah. So it sounds like it's all about kind of opening the channels of the body, right? Like, because there's energetic blocks all the time that we have in our body, and we often look outside of ourselves to try to clear that. But whether it's the chakra work, like you said, I imagine things like other tools that are out there for people, like acupuncture, or are you familiar with EFT, emotional freedom technique?
Yeah.
All of those things that just kind of move the energy in the body that might be stale or stagnant.
Exactly.
I definitely found it at the time for me. My father just recently passed away as well, so it was very much I was going through the grief, and then trying to understand, trying to get rid of the guilt of still wanting to have that sexual pleasure, etc., and fighting that real sadness, and listening to the Auditurgy audios and the readings and the writings. It sort of made a lot of sense at that particular moment in time for me to identify the fact that it was okay and it is fine, and it's really quite powerful. I found it really, really quite powerful. So yeah, grief's a bitch, and you have to fight your way out of it, and you have to find who you were before the loss, and you are there. And it was really important, I think, for me to find the safe space to say it's okay, you can still pleasure yourself, and you can still have sex, and you can still do this and do that, with the grief tagging along with you.
I know that space only too well, and I'm sorry for your loss.
Jules, I think you had a question about the visuals.
I do, but can I just say that you are all blowing my mind right now with all this chatter about chakras. And guys, I have a yoga tattoo on my body, and I feel like such an imposter right now. Can I just tell you?
Fucking imposter.
Get out of the room.
I'm just sitting here. Like, I know you can't see us, listeners, but I'm just sitting here. Like, my mind has been blown by all three of these people. I'm just like, wow. Woo. Yeah, I do have a question. I don't want to speak for all men, but like, just because of Quinn, like, we've all found Quinn, that's how we all met each other, and we're all women. But why do we think that visual visual erotica is, that's kind of what men steer towards instead of the audio erotica. Like, why do you maybe think that is? Is it just like innate? Is it how you're raised, or is it a little bit of both? Just curious about what you think about that.
Good question. So there's some interesting stuff that I've been learning about how the masculine works and how the feminine works more recently. And one of the things that, you know, the masculine is about is taking action. It's like, we're going to take action. We're going to stand in this space and occupy it. And I got to focus. It's sort of like being able to focus singularly on this thing that I want, whatever that is. And visual stuff, movies really cater to that form of, you know, single focus. Like, I want this one thing, and it's like, and visually that's how it gets right into that place of being the focus. But the feminine is more about the experience. Like, it's the surrender, it's the opening of emotion and sensation and all the different senses. And in that way, I think the feminine actually has a massive advantage in the spectrum of pleasures that can be experienced. And so taking away the most powerful input, which is visual, and really just like making it an auditory experience that can invoke all of these other senses, and have it be sort of just like going along for this ride. I think I mean, it only makes sense to me why it would cater more towards women in that regard.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. I mean, I don't hide that I do this podcast, that I listen to Quinn, but I have male friends, I have brothers, even my husband is just like, well, I don't get it. Like, why just put some porn on, just that's like what you do, just put that on. And now that you're saying that it's like that whole experience for us, that makes a lot of sense.
So in regards to that, the future then of audio erotica, I mean, how do you see it evolving with AI? How do you see it looking in sort of 5 or 10 years time, Orcus?
Yeah, there's been some debate or discussion among my co-creators about this. There are discussions about people wanting to like have AI start build sort of AI versions of their voice, which is something I may end up doing at some point. There's already, I mean, I'm not sure if you're aware, but there are already apps out there that basically allow you to create your own AI boyfriend or girlfriend.
Yeah.
Like, everything is changing so quickly these days. I think that there's what I'm noticing is that there really is, we're hitting this sort of fever pitch of availability of really anything that you could possibly want at your fingertips to experience. And so if we are reaching out there for something to sort of satisfy a thing, a desire or passion that we have, it's sort of like this way of like, I want to be filled in some way, so I'm going to reach out there for something to fill it. And we do that over and over and over again. And there are any number of ways that we can do this. This is my take. Within the next few years, there's going to be this realization that whatever is out there isn't necessarily able to fill what's in here. And there's going to be this reverse of the flow where it's all about people wanting to figure out, how do I generate from in here? Like, what is the thing that's going to help me to connect with my own channel and love and contribute and be the best version of myself. And so I actually think that audios and experiences are really going to move towards that realm of supporting people in their own sense of self, of inviting in their deepest passions, of expressing themselves in different ways, of learning how to be creative again, of learning how to I mean, a whole spectrum of different things. spirituality in its more raw form being one of them, because spirituality has been conflated with religion for so long. And spirituality is an individual thing. It's something that we each individually connect to ourselves. That's what I believe.
Yeah, I mean, I'm an educated woman. I definitely only recently sort of found that divide, that connection, that I was avoiding things that were spiritual because of the religion and the religious aspects and the tax that came along with it. So being an atheist myself, it was something that I had avoided and probably wasted a lot of years avoiding it, when it could have been just a very positive thing in my life.
And you just gave me such peace in my body when you talked about the AI piece of it, because as soon as you asked that question, I had such resistance come up, because I thought, man, something else that's pulling us away from ourselves, when I think all we need to do is connect deeper within. But what I took from what you said was, it's almost like, the whole pendulum idea. It's like, the AI prevalence pins the pendulum all the way over here where we're over here. But it's almost like we need to go there to learn that we need to come back to center. It's kind of like the invention of technology or texting or social media, right? People were so excited, and it was amazing, especially during the pandemic, for people to connect with each other so easily via technology and not feel alone. But then the pendulum hit again, and it was like people were so connected via technology, they were craving in-person things, right? Like in the work I do and the teachings that I do, was I would teach in-person workshops, and then everything went online, and now everyone is like, when are you having an in-person event again? And I'm like, people want to come back to that thing. So it's almost like now I see AI more as you said it, like a tool that's going to allow us to see how much we need to come back to ourselves.
Oh yeah. I had this really wild realization that just about everything, like every if you zoom out far enough, just about every product, every movie, everything that catches fire in some way out in the collective, it all is connecting people back to themselves in some way. It's like it's connecting people back to that that inner divinity, and in one small step. And I feel like we're collectively rapidly approaching, and like AI, I don't know, we could go down a whole rabbit hole around AI, but
love AI stuff.
AI podcast.
So
I feel like AI in a way is like it's the thesis statement of modern culture. And it's the moment where any and all information is available at the fingertips, whenever we need it. And so that then starts forcing us to ask the question, okay, well, what does it all mean? And why am I actually here?
Just because you can, should you?
Right. It makes me think. So I'm a high school teacher, and we use ChatGPT a lot. They encourage it for certain things. It just really does help things. But I started relying on it so much because it took hours away from my planning. And I hadn't read one of the books, Animal Farm, one of my favorite books, but I hadn't read it in years. And I was like, I'm going to make the test on ChatGPT. You know what I did? I did it, and she ended up doing it completely wrong because she wasn't updated. And all it made me think of is why wouldn't I just go reconnect with that book that I love so much? And so you were talking about, we rely on it so much, but me even seeing that helped me realize hey, I don't need to rely on this for absolutely everything. I can go back and read this amazing book, and I can create questions for myself, for my students.
Yeah.
Admin, if you're listening, don't listen to that.
Well, because AI can't replace you, right? There's going to be that human component,
right?
And there's going to be your interpretation of, in this case, the book. That it's just going to be different. So it's all about finding balance, right, with everything.
Yeah.
Coming up on QuinnCast AI.
No, I will fight it.
No way.
So Orcus, we're talking about balance. So the balance between Orcus Auditory and Auditurgy.
Yeah.
So where are you with that? Are we talking?
Where am I with this?
Where are with you?
Oh man. There is, for me, there's this very, as I mentioned earlier, there's this very intentional desire to move up the channel, just from the first and second to like, let's get into the third and fourth, like let's open the heart and connect people back to themselves. And but like the desire to be creative and explore like the edges of different kinds of topics is still there. And I don't see Orcus Auditory going away anytime soon. I find him being sort of integrated into the overall spectrum of my work. It's just that, this is actually kind of a debate that I've been having with myself for the past few years, which is that, there's a certain point where as effective and wonderful and creative as Orcus Auditory has been, I also want to create a safe space where he can step back and allow the person listening to come forward and be the main character in their own story.
Yeah.
And that's felt like a really important step as part of building upon the work that I've been doing. And yeah, I mean, and the stuff with Auditurgy, like there are audios that I have planned that I want to do that are really that may very well put people, like have people tap into really challenging things that they need to look at and deal with, and to have that kind of relationship with this character of Orcus at the same time is a little bit hard to me. So I want to be protective of that.
Do you think Orcus Auditory is a stepping stone into Auditurgy, or do you think Auditurgy could be a stepping stone into Orcus Auditory?
I think more towards Auditurgy than the other way, personally. And I'm sort of working on a bridge that is sort of, like we discussed, it's like the audio experience piece of these sort of fantasy audios, connecting people with themselves, invoking new kinds of interests and intimacy. But then, like, how are we connecting them to invoking those kinds of feelings in a more integrated sort of, like in a way that gives them the skills to create that for themselves. So that's what I'm trying to create, that bridge. And it's taking longer than I've been working on this for over a year now. I've been working on this course that's going to help people do that. But it's sort of a deep dive into, how chakra energy works, and a whole series of different audios that help people around that. I don't know. So it's going to take a while.
I love that. That means that's a good teaser for the listeners there.
Yeah.
So obviously, following you on social media and stuff is how people can learn about this course on evolving and eventually becoming available.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. Sign me up. Take my money. Sign me up.
Me too. Y'all know I need it.
I've already done a few of the pleasure meditation calls, and very intrigued to see where this is going, because that was very interesting and deep, but also good for the beginner. So I'm the beginner, so very good for that as well. So I can't wait for the Orcus retreat.
Wait a minute, did you just create that, or is that in the plans?
I know. Did you just manifest this?
I don't need to take any profits from it, but we do need to name it Smudge.
There's been this long call now for me to run a retreat, that I probably would start entertaining that idea once I get the pleasure course out. So we'll see. It's a
okay.
TBD.
That's exciting.
QuinnCast exclusive.
When you talk about the kind of like coming back to ourselves and owning our own power, et cetera, I mean, that's a large part of our conversations here on QuinnCast, is helping women really own their sexuality, celebrate their sexuality, unlearn the shame around it. And so I'm curious, like for you or for yourself or just in general, how do you define sexual freedom?
Ooh. Oh, I like this question. Well, to me, of course, the number one ingredient to sexual freedom is safety. And, establishing safety, especially within a relationship, a romantic relationship, can, especially around sexuality, can get a little bit dicey sometimes. And it takes a lot of time and work and owning our own stuff and like moving together in this way that can unlock complete sexual freedom between a couple. But a lot of that also applies to ourselves individually, of, first establishing safety and protecting that safety, and then just opening the channel. Like, what is the weirdest, darkest, craziest thing that you want to explore and experience, and is there a safe way to be able to explore that, without without necessarily like putting your safety at risk out in the world, right?
Yep.
And I think that allowing people to go to the depths of what that possibly means for them, in many ways is a healthy exercise. And then sort of, creating a way for people to realize that the thing that they are that has unlocked them is really just a gateway. It's just a gateway to even more and more expansion of possibility. That once they learn how to protect themselves, sort of manage their own boundaries and trust themselves, they can go,
That's the
they
thing.
can go out into the world and explore their freedom however they like, because they trust that no matter what happens, they can protect their own sexual freedom as part of that.
That's the thing. People don't understand that. It's such a thing. It's not just about trusting the person that you're with, it's trusting your own boundaries and your own ability to stand up for them. It's I think it's probably the biggest, speaking to my female friends, it's probably the biggest thing that is a blocker for them experiencing what they want to experience during a sexual encounter, because not the safety of the other person, but them letting themselves go and feeling safe with their own boundaries and their own limits. You hit the nail on the head, August. I've not heard anybody say it like that before, and it's absolutely spot on.
There's something really powerful that I recently heard. I went and did a sweat lodge recently, and at the sweat lodge, there are people who are really rooted in the tradition. But I was talking to this woman about coming of age ceremonies, and one of the things they said is that for young men, the coming of age ceremony is that they put them in a group and then send them out into the woods by themselves and sort of learn how to survive. For young women, they send them out into the woods by themselves, because there's this sort of like feminine way of like, when girls grow up, there's this automatic welcoming and holding within the community and connection that's built. And for men, there's this sort of solo solitary, like you got to pull yourself up by your bootstraps and figure yourself out. So the coming of age is for men to realize there's more than just myself. There's more than just myself. Like they're the people around me that I love and want to connect with, and the world itself. And for women, it's reclamation of the self. It's realizing that I can trust my own instincts, my own whatever it is, and I don't necessarily need to like go check with the world outside to make sure everything's okay. No, I know that I'm okay. And that's
that is
a powerful thing.
So true. It is so true. I mean, like just how men and women are conditioned, maybe how they're wired as well. But yeah, I mean, certainly, growing up, I'm taught to, and I'm sure we were all taught about, help others, put others first, and really defining your worth, at least for me, in large part with what I can do for others. And then it almost becomes like a part of your identity, in that you can teach yourself, and your belief system can be such that if I don't provide for other people in whatever way, help, support, knowledge, then why would they even want to be in relationship with me, family, friends, or whatever? So it's almost like doing things for people moves from a role of like compassionate intention to almost ingratiation, right? It's like, I have to ingratiate myself to you. This is how I earn love. This is how I earn relationships, is how much can I do for you? It will be no surprise if you're familiar at all with the Enneagram that I'm a 2. I'm the helper, right? So, yeah, and so is Jules. Yeah.
So am I.
So
I'm a 4-wing 5. Or wait,
Oh,
Oh,
am I
okay.
5
Okay.
wing 4? I can't remember. It's the I'm the Bohemian.
Yeah, I would,
5 wing 4. That's
okay.
what it is. Okay.
Which is interesting, Orcus, because for you to be a 5, Enneagram test, people, for anyone who doesn't know what the hell we're talking
yes.
about, just go online and do an Enneagram test. So, I mean, 5s can really, really get into their heads, right? And can create their own world and live almost exclusively there. And it can make it really difficult to connect outside of ourselves. Yourself, I'm not a 5. But yeah, as a woman who's also a 2, like, forget it. It's all about helping others and neglect of self.
I'm going to have to do this.
Okay.
I've never done it. So
Sorry.
Oh.
Yeah, no, confirmed. I am a 4 wing 5.
Okay, that makes more sense.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah.
No,
Yeah.
it's
I'm like a 5.
No, it's true, Carrie, what you said. I mean, like I said, I went into teaching. My sister went into nursing, and my other teacher is my other sister is a social worker. Like, we all went into helping
Yeah.
fields for our careers, because growing up, like, you help
Mhm.
others, even if, again, my family's great. I don't mean it that way, but even if it's, like you said, neglecting yourself
Yeah.
as a,
Yeah.
Mhm.
is this scale something that you learn about yourself, or then when you realize that you're a 5 to 4, sorry, I'm
Yep.
completely naive with
Yep.
this. I don't know what it is. Maybe it didn't transfer to England. I don't know. But so is it something that you find out you're a 2 or a 4 to 5,
Mhm.
and then because you know that then steers your world subconsciously or consciously?
Yeah,
How does
you're
it work?
sort of like the chicken or the egg problem of like, am I
Yeah.
this
Right.
way because the thing said
Right,
I
okay.
was, or
Yeah.
am I, is this thing?
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
I kind of look at it this way. I mean, I like I said, I used to be really science and technology oriented. And I was like, astrology? Like what the heck is that? Like,
Yeah.
but there is, to me, one of the things that I've taught through the little talks that I gave in my Patreon was learning how to separate the consciousness, the sort of light of consciousness, from the thoughts and the ways of being that we are.
Mhm.
And there is a sort of energetic tenor or vibration, like quality of how that light shines through you, like its biases, its tendencies, like sort of like the seasonal kind of energy of it. And the ways in which we have identified how that energetic quality shows itself is through astrology, through the Enneagram, through all of these different ways of defining people. And I think it's been incredibly powerful and useful to see that. And of course, it's human interpretation. It's like I think energy is only vaguely represented well by language.
Yeah.
So all of this stuff around the Enneagram, I think it's like it's useful, it's interesting,
Yes.
but it's not necessarily the verdict on who you are.
So if somebody tells you constantly funny, you can think it, but it doesn't make it so, that type of premise. So somebody tells you you're a 4 to 5, or is that how it
Well,
how
yeah.
it goes?
Well, you would take the test yourself. I found for me, like, the Enneagram is it can be a really powerful and sometimes unkind mirror. But really, it's not unkind. It's just like showing, because I talk about the stress end of your number and then the healthy end kind of thing. So as a 2, as helpers, like when I'm in a stress place of 2, when I'm in the unhealthy end, if you will, of 2, that's when I am over helping, I'm over giving, I'm giving from a place of want instead of a place of intention and pure desire. But so when I'm in that place, then I can look at what can I do? Like the Enneagram helps me with ideas on how I can get myself back into balance. So really, it's just another tool like we talked about when you're feeling out of balance or your energy's out of your body. It's like, how can I come back home? But yeah, it's certainly not a like, here's who you are and you can't go outside of it. But it's cool though.
Right. It's not a final
So
say.
what I'm hearing is I have homework to do.
Yeah,
Yes,
you have to take
You
the
have some
test. I will not even wager a guess because I don't want to skew it.
I will do it.
It's
All actually, here's a good one. So you know me. So Kazza and Jules know me. What would you say I am?
No, I don't want to do that.
I'm going to do the test. Oh, you can't do that. So you can't like
Well,
say
I mean,
what
they
I
can
am,
if
and
they
then I'm going
want.
to do the test.
I'm not
No.
going to, because I don't want to
Okay.
skew.
Result.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's a
I
moot
am
point.
excited for you to
Yeah.
take it now, though.
Yeah.
So Orcus, do you have any spiritually based, ritually based? Do you have anything that you use to get into a state when you're doing an audio, whether it be Auditurgy or Orcus Auditory?
Well, I meditate every morning. And I do, I think of thing like the thing I do is I really picture in my mind, like if I'm doing Auditurgy stuff, it's really heart oriented. So it's like thinking of things that have opened my heart, like my daughter, you know.
Mm.
If I'm getting into an auditory space where I want to create an audio, that's more like, you know, I'll go watch an episode of Interview with a Vampire, or or I might
Yes.
you know, I might like look for things that really capture that energy of the first and second chakra. I'm like, okay, now I'm feeling it. You know, let's get into the weeds on this. So I don't know. For me, it's finding the energy that I want to embody, and then playing it in a way where I can start vibrating with it, you know, myself.
Mm.
Do you ever start and then go, oh, do you know what? I'm just not feeling it.
Oh, it happens more than I'd like to admit. Yeah. I mean, just to be really honest, the past few years have been really challenging in many ways for me. And it's especially with two small kids and life and pandemic and all kinds of things happening. It really takes work sometimes to walk into the studio and say, okay, I'm creating a container around this, and I'm going to just drop into this audio, and put all the other stuff outside. You know, it's been a really tough learning curve for me around that at certain times, because I've really been challenged. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it makes sense that it's been more challenging over the past couple of years, because I think a lot of people are feeling that for sure. Because it's very big, heavy stuff that you're asking yourself to wait outside.
Sure.
That you're asking to wait outside. Whereas in the past, it might have been just distractions or to-dos, but now it's like, oh, I have to ask the state of the world to wait outside while I create this audio.
Yeah, exactly.
It's challenging. Yeah.
Can be a tough
challenging.
Yeah. So even though we know I'm going to be Quinn's newest top growler, I do wonder if I'm not planning on doing this, by the way, but do you have any advice for people who maybe are thinking about getting into voice acting, and not necessarily audio erotica can be that, but just in general, kind of advice for them to get going?
Yeah. I think it really connects with what we've been talking about this whole interview. It's for me, it's like plant the seeds of finding your safety first. Like find the place where you feel the safest. And then in that place, just see where your heart wants to go. Like the deepest, darkest thing that you can think of, or the most beautiful thing you can think of, like, you know, find a way to express it, even like just the most tiniest seeds of it, because seeds will grow into something big and amazing over time. And just give yourself the grace and patience of letting that grow. There is no art that I don't believe there is very much art out there that is successful that does not have some kind of soul laid bare behind it. You know, Orcus Auditory became successful because I poured my soul, my bare soul, into that work. And people have felt it. And I, you know, I could see a painting, I could listen to a song, I could, you know, I could see somebody dance and just burst into tears because I feel like I can see their soul singing, you know. And so that to me, like, no matter what it is, it could be a completely saturated market or not. Like whatever your soul wants to sing doing, let it sing first. Like learn how to sing from that place. And people will find you.
Hmm.
Beautiful. And I think one of the hardest things to do is giving yourself grace. I think that is
Yeah.
so difficult to do. And
Yeah.
I love that you said that, it's okay to start small. And
Mm-hmm.
One question I've always wanted to ask, if you had, knowing what you know now, and there's obviously a lot of talk in regards to boundaries, and we've talked about safety a lot during this chat, would you have chosen to be anonymous or still chosen to be known?
I have no regrets about how I've approached the evolution of my career. I mean, I'm not sure how much the three of you are aware. Like I kind of, I mean, many would argue that I kind of shot myself in the foot a year or two ago, because when I left plant medicine, or I left this plant medicine work that I'd done, and I basically told my followers, hey, I'm retiring, I'm done. But that was a super challenging time for me to that, where I was really facing having to like decide whether or not I want, do I really, like, I was trying to cut away Orcus all of a sudden again, like I used to do. Um and then I went through this whole rebirthing process again, and I was like, no, I really actually do love this part of myself. I love this expression, and I'm going to own this part of myself. Like, I'm not going to treat it like it's something that I have to hide or be ashamed of. I will say that I do a lot of work to protect myself, to sort of maintain energetic boundaries, and perhaps more so than other creators do in some ways, and maybe less so than other creators do. But the point is that I do trust myself, and I do trust what I'm able to what I'm able to do around that. And so far so good. Things have been working great.
Good.
And I trust that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Good. That's great. I mean, because there's been a lot of chatter lately, especially on social media, from different creators who are having some boundaries crossed.
Yeah.
They don't specify what, nor do they need to. But there's been, just some boundaries being crossed. I think Milo came out with something, and maybe Xander as well.
as well.
Anon, yeah, Anonifon. They've all had things happen. So, I mean, I think it's risky, right? Just because you're out there and the type of relationships that are being created. But I think, to your point, as long as you have those boundaries in place in whatever way that feels best to you.
It can get real intense out there, especially with
Yeah.
some of the more popular creators. I had a fever pitch where I was receiving like 20 messages a day
Oh
for a
gosh.
while, and everything from marriage proposals to nude photos to all kinds of stuff. And I did a whole talk on this, the reality of being a male creator, especially in this kind of space. And once I trained, and this is so funny to say, it's like once I trained my audience to know who I was and where I was absolutely solid in my boundaries, and what I engage with and what I don't, then people treat me with respect now, in general.
Nice.
I think
And so they
people sort of
should.
check each other around my community and the comment sections.
That's
Only
great.
once
That's helpful.
have I ever had to ban somebody from my Patreon, and that's
Wow.
been really a gift, I
And
think.
it wasn't me.
It wasn't Smudge.
Woo!
Yet.
Rude. Yeah, it's a really important conversation. It's a really important thing to make sure that we keep talking about, because I think for a long time creators were worried about saying it and speaking up about it, and I think there's been quite a movement over the last at least 6 months.
Yeah.
And I think it's a damn positive thing.
Yeah.
It really is. And I think back to what John York said. We just had John York and AJ on the another episode of this. And he said that it's so interesting because if you love the work that he's doing so much, why do something to jeopardize his ability to do it by crossing boundaries? It's like, if you cross those boundaries or put me or my family or anyone I love at any kind of risk, then it's one and done for me. I close up shop. So what you've done is made what you love go away, which makes so much sense, right? But when you're, I mean, I think parasocial relationships are a really tricky thing. It is just, more and more prominent. Yeah.
One of the tricky things is that, being in my position, I'm when I'm doing an audio, I'm talking into a microphone and I'm sort of picturing the feminine goddess in front of me, but I have no idea who's listening. And I
Right.
get
Right.
messages from people who have been listening to me for, for hours and hours and hours, and they are talking to me like they know me and are very familiar with me, and I've never even seen or heard this person before in my life. And that's a little bit difficult because it's like,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm so happy you've been connecting with my work. But please remember that what you're experiencing is coming through me, but not from me. Like, I don't know you.
Through you, not from you. Wow.
You know?
I think that's such an important distinction, is like there is the actor and there is the person,
Yeah.
right? You're like, there's Orcus and there's not Orcus.
Yeah.
Or should
Evan
I?
is my real name.
Yes.
Evan.
Just keeping that distinction of like, this is a performer.
Hmm.
Even though your work comes from such a deep, authentic, powerful place, it still comes through your acting, right? So it's but I think it's difficult for people to
Disassociate.
Yeah, I think in some fucked up, twisted way, it's a compliment to the quality of your work that they feel like they're in a relationship with you.
Right, so you're that
It's like,
good.
so stop being so damn good at what you do.
Knock it off.
Yeah.
Knock it off.
Well, I mean, I also would say that you can kind of listen for there are certain kinds of audios where the creator themselves they're like the little tiny, almost imperceptible energetic decisions that creators make that sort of take the energy one way or another. And there are little ways in which I think, for me personally, I've made a lot of decisions that are intended to guide the person back to themselves. And there are other ways of doing it, which is like, no, I'm going to claim your energy more. I want your energy more. This is mine, all that kind of stuff. And it's just it's a different creative decision.
Yep.
I would say.
Yeah.
That's
interesting.
Yeah, I think my biggest takeaway actually from what you said, I think it's just a perfect way to say it, is that what you put out there, it's through you, not from you.
Anybody got any
I just have one other question. I'm just curious, like, is there any question that you've never been asked that you wished you were? I know.
Boy.
That's the last question. He's tired.
I feel like you asked the question that I was never asked. I mean, just even asking about Auditurgy is a gift, and I do appreciate that. I don't know. The experience of being an audio creator is such a niche thing. It's like they're like, it's not there are very few people out there comparatively that do this, and so it's very lonely in here, just growling and moaning in the microphone by myself and then putting it out in the world. But I feel like even like what you three are doing, and and people like you and Quinn, just to bring this stuff into the mainstream, is such a beautiful thing. And I feel really blessed to be part of this community. So yeah.
All right, hang on. I do have one more question. I'll never forgive myself if I don't ask it. Where on earth can I get myself one of those badass stay curious motherfuckers hats that you wear?
Oh, good question.
Hell yes.
Orcus's merch shop.
I'm all about the baby.
I'm obsessed with it. It's awesome. Or is it one of a kind?
My friend Sheen is going to love me for this plug. I don't actually have any kind of business. Like, she's just a friend of mine. So the website is called sputnikseattle.com, and she sells those hats. And she's just a lovely human being. And I saw the hat and I was like, I need to wear this during my videos.
Yes, it's amazing.
Yes.
It
so
really is.
yeah, so they're great. And she's lovely.
We will pop it in
Yes.
our show notes.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Cool.
SputnikSeattle.com.
That's awesome. Yeah. Sometimes I'll be, just doing the scroll thing, and sometimes, I do it a little quickly, and I'll notice the hat before I notice it's you. And I'll be like, oh my gosh, wait, don't scroll, don't scroll.
Is it an eye, isn't it?
It's like the third eye, right?
Yeah.
I love it.
I absolutely love it.
Yeah.
So, where can anybody find you on socials for both Orcus Auditory and Auditurgy?
It's really just at Orcus Auditory or at Auditurgy. Auditurgy is spelled AUDITURGY.
Excellent.
And yeah. and either of those two.
Beautiful.
And you have a
OrcusAuditory.com
Patreon as
and
well.
Auditurgy.com. And I
Yep.
do have a Patreon for either side, whatever is
Oh,
your
cool.
flavor.
Okay, brilliant.
Yes. It will
Cool.
all be in the show notes, listeners. Easy links to get you to all of those things.
Wonderful.
So
Wow.
thank you so
That
much,
has
Orcus.
been-
Thank you so much. This
been-
is wonderful.
Powerful conversation.
I mean,
Yes.
just truly an absolute pleasure to
Truly.
talk to you and explore all these topics. It's been awesome.
So amazing.
I am
Boy,
officially in love with you.
Yeah, same.
Not in a creepy parasocial way. In a
this
healthy,
is-
safe boundary way.
We need to have an intervention, Kaza.
No.
Thank you so much for your time,
Yeah,
Orcus.
really.
It's been an
Yeah.
absolute pleasure, as the ladies have said, and thank you. And we wish you all the very best with your Orcus Auditory and your Auditurgy
Yeah.
and anything else, because I'm fairly positive that anything you put your mind to, it's going to be
Magic.
intriguing and
Wonderful.
exciting.
Yes.
Yeah,
Well, it was
absolutely.
a pleasure
So
for me
thank
too.
you.
Thank you very much.
All right, ladies. So, Orcus,
That was Orcus.
Smudge, are you okay?
How are
I don't
you?
think I'm ever going to be okay.
I mean, you spoke with Orcus on your birthday.
I know.
Like, oh my God.
Well,
Unbelievable.
I am. Two things that stand out for me. Two things. One, how fucking easy is it to just chat with him? He is
So
so,
easy.
open. So open.
So open.
You know,
I love-
I felt it as soon as he came in the studio. You know, like you see his TikTok videos and his social media stuff, and he's incredibly powerful and seductive, and he pulls you right in.
Yes.
When he came in for the conversation, his energy was so open and receptive and
Calming.
chill and
So
calming.
calming.
Like,
Yes.
we're like, you're so yeah. Jules was like, you're so chill. And he's like, well, I did my qigong and my meditation. I'm like,
Yes.
I love you.
Yes, it was
I
wonderful.
felt like I'd just been meditating for an hour.
Yeah,
That's how
that's-
calm I felt. It was, you know, when somebody
Yes.
walks into a room and you're like,
And you can feel it.
Yes,
I'm at
that's
peace.
exactly what it was. The moment he came into the room, you could absolutely feel it. And it set the tone for the entire episode. And it was such a
Yeah.
wonderful conversation with him. Wow.
so interesting, so much stuff that I'm thinking, oh, well, I need to look into that. Or, oh,
Yeah.
wow, that sounds amazing.
Like even as one of the
retreats.
hosts here, this is an episode I will listen to again and again and again.
Me too.
Because there's just so many gems in it from him. Like, I'm so glad he was willing to like go into all these places and talk about his Auditurgy work, which was so cool. You just
I love
he
that.
really
I'm so-
lit up when he was talking about that.
Oh,
All the different sides, the two sides of him, and he manages it so well. It's not a split personality. It
No,
is him.
seamless.
He has his Auditurgy in his Orcus, you know, auditory,
Yeah.
and then he has
Yep.
his Orcus Auditory in his Auditurgy. Now try and say that fast 3 times.
No,
Yeah, no.
cannot. I can't say it once.
no.
Auditory in his
Clearly.
Auditurgy, in his Auditurgy, in his auditory. There you go.
Yeah,
Yeah, but no, amazing. And that
he's so cool.
couple of hours felt like 5 minutes.
Yes.
It did. All of a sudden, it was, I remember looking at the clock and it was, I think, 27 minutes in, so random. And then all of a sudden, we're like, oh, hey, we've been chatting for a half hour beyond what we thought. And
So yeah.
yeah.
Oh, it was
and-
so good.
oh, it
I
was
love
so
these-
wonderful.
I love these episodes. I
I
mean,
do too.
believe me, I love chatting just the three of us. Don't get me wrong. We have lots of interesting things to say.
Yeah, not so
But
much.
to have these other people in as well is like it's so cool. So
Brilliant. Yeah.
I can't wait for the next one.
The next
Me
one.
too.
Yay.
Ladies.
Thank you so much for listening. We hope you enjoyed the episode. Of course you did, which is going to compel you to run and rate us 5 stars and write a lovely comment and visit us online at QuinnCast.com where you can get some of that cool merch. And please, finally, email us. Email us your ideas for the podcast. Maybe a secret confession we can share on air. Anything. QuinnCastPodcast@gmail.com. And this has been Kaza. Your voice matters.
This is Jules. Go put those lips to good use.
And this is Smudge. Keep wanking.